in chapters 31 through 40. This is what we're doing today. We left off with Kidon and Yost having to dance at this dance after she's shown his fangs to everybody. It ends uneventful. They have a back and forth conversation, and Yost tells her he will never forgive her. Kidon is trying to tempt Yost to drink from her to expose him as a monster while they're dancing. After this, Kidon thinks, I have to retrace Ramen's steps and see what happened to her. She ingests the fake poison that Aunt Celia gave her in order to appear sick. Yost notices right away. He comes in her room and says, are you sick? Are you okay? Tells him she's dying. She asks him to get her a life exchange, just like Ramen did. But he does not help her out of the goodness of his heart. She threatens him at first. She threatens him to tell Dean Ferris that he poisoned her. He kind of persuades him by telling him that if he helps her get a life exchange, then she won't be the heir to the house anymore. If she turns, he'll inherit the house. Also in this time, Kidon's friend group starts to feel normal to her. Like she starts to grow closer to her friend group. Her and Slyn grow a little bit closer. Slyn shows her Kidon some of her scars that are on her hands and stuff. So on and so forth. They get a little bit closer. Kidon even goes as far as to ask her if she wants her to take care of her dad. Kidon also sees herself as evil, and she starts seeing similarities in her and Slyn. So she gets excited by this, that they may be somewhat alike, but she also is battling with the fact that if Slyn is just as evil as her, so she thinks, if Slyn is just as evil as her, then Slyn has to go as well. So she's like kind of teetering out back and forth about this, debating with herself if, that's the case or not. In this chapter, Yost also tells Kidon, hey, I did not take your sister. He finally admits to the fact that he did not do this. She also starts to wonder what Yost values, what the house could take from him. Yost brings Kidon to the Southern Souls building to find her a life exchange. She is also approached by the 13th, which is led by Slyn's dad. He offers to help her as well. She has to kind of persuade him. And then she finds out they had something to do with Ramen. Ramen was involved with them in some kind of way as well. Finds out that they know about June. She starts to suspect maybe they have something to do with June. Yost and Kidon continue to kind of grow a little bit closer. Like they start working on the artifacts she destroyed. She finds out where those artifacts came from. She meets with the 13th again, and they tell her after she gives them an artifact, we want you to get rid of Yusuf. Yusuf will not be great to our cause. We'll talk about the 13th at some point. Make sure he fails out of the class, or they will get rid of him in general, because they can control the person that's over Umel house, which is Yusuf's house, and they don't want him to inherit because he's kind of a wild card, and they don't think he'll bend to their wills and do some of the things they want him to do. In these chapters, you also learn about transformations. There's a living transformation that Kidon gets to witness, and there's a death transformation as well, which is kind of forbidden, and GK kind of explains these two things to her. We can go into this if you want to know more. Kidon also learns more things about these people. She learns about Slyn's relationship with her dad and her relationship with music. She also learns about Yusuf, kinda, and his relationship with Slyn. Yusuf asks her to look out for Slyn because he realizes that Slyn kind of trusts Kidon. He also learns about Yost. She learns that he was an emperor, and he kind of like leads her to this because she's studying quadratism. In these chapters, Yost also explains his story and why he turned. Last chapter we're going to discuss, Slyn's father becomes a prime suspect in Ramen's murder. It's leaked, and it kind of jumps to this in this chapter. It's leaked on the campus website, and Kidon starts to wonder what vampire actually killed, because there was a vampire involved with this because they find a bite on her. The 13th meet because their leader is, arrested. They discuss Omar Emil. He realizes that he's a part of the 13th. Writes to Omar Emil to get him to meet with her. She has been writing him, but he has not been responding. She sends him 1313 to get him to respond to her. There's, at the end of this chapter, Kidon sees Yost in the observatory. Nobody was there. She finds him in the observatory when she goes home. She goes in to help him. She starts to see him as more victim instead of her enemy. Yost kind of yells at her to get out. He didn't even notice that she was there, and he didn't notice that she was bleeding. This is kind of the turning point when she realizes what the house is actually taking from Yost when she continues to think on it. Not anything too big or important in these chapters, but you find out some information about what's going on with some of these characters and some of the parts of their story, because the good thing about this book it doesn't focus on one character. You're not following one character around. You're seeing multiple characters through this one character's eyes. This one character's eyes you're seeing them through is kind of erratic, so you're learning them as she's learning them, but it's also kind of cool how you still are following multiple plot lines. Like, you're still, multiple plots come into this one big plot. All right, bye.